Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Slodge Podcast, also known as the Slodge Podcast, also known as the Lodge Podcast.
Welcome to episode 22.
22. That's 1/4 of 88.
Wow.
It's going to be a big episode once we get to 88.
That's going to be unreal. If y'all could give me a second.
It's
Gonna
time to
go
be real.
ahead and be real. There you go, and you can only see that if you're my friend on there.
Yeah, which none of you are. So.
Which none of you are. So I've got a lot of followers on that one. I've been taking Be Real pretty seriously.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of streams from that.
Yeah, getting real into Be Real. Yeah.
Check out my new song. I get to make one post every day.
Yeah. You're limited to one advertisement per day.
Which leads into this week. Last week I talked about promoting on TikTok a lot, leading up to my song, and it was kind of a waste of time because not like I got some new listeners, but I put so much work, not so much work, like more work than I usually do on the social media, and I just hate using all those apps.
Yeah,
and I was so burnt out of promoting the song, and especially that snippet when I say like I'm a people pleaser,
right?
That by the time the song dropped, I didn't make very much content because I was just so done, and that's like the opposite of what you want to do.
Exactly. Yeah, because a lot of people don't even promote the song until it comes out.
Yeah.
So like that's really the most important thing is like when people actually can get it like immediately, that's when they want to have it advertised to them.
It was cool though. There were a lot of comments that said, you know, like I was familiar with the snippet, but this song is just so good, and like they liked the whole song, and I feel like the people who were ready for the song to drop, which it wasn't that many people, but for those people, they're definitely gonna like the song more.
Totally.
Because there was some hype build up to it, but like,
exactly,
dude, if I don't have a team on social media, I'm gonna keep sticking to like maybe spending 5 minutes on those apps every day, just doing like day 48. Because I just have been getting sucked into scrolling on TikTok, and it's
that's how they get you.
It's stealing all my time. It's annoying.
Also, it's kind of like the risk versus reward thing, where it's like, is the payoff for like you doing the social media worth the amount that you're going to be not enjoying your life because you're going to be like scrolling and getting sucked into like the social media aspect, like the consuming aspect? So yeah, I think honestly, just whatever works for you and whatever you're able to like do consistently, because that's what we talk about all the time to everybody, like whatever you're able to maintain is what you probably should be doing. And it's good to try out different things, and that's how you're able to know, you know?
That's the big point, is like you got to try out everything.
Right.
And I think for someone who's just starting, trying to promote their music, like that's the wave. Actually spend the time on TikTok.
Yeah.
But for me, since I've spent like 8 years building my YouTube channel, and to kind of neglect the YouTube channel a little bit because I'm putting all my eggs into TikTok and trying to promote it that way, it feels like a waste of time when I spend like so much time on this one video and like, you know, getting the captions to line up with the video and like editing the timing of all the text, and then I finally upload it, and then I have to download the video to upload it on Instagram, and I have to time up the song because I want to use the audio on Instagram, and like by the time that's done, it's been at least 25 minutes, and I'm just so done with that whole process. Yeah. And then it gets like, you know, 40 likes and like maybe 2 comments of, hey, this song's good, and it's like, there's no way y'all listen to this. Yeah. So I'd rather spend that time on the YouTube channel, which I've really built up. Right. And I've gained that following, and I should definitely spend more time on that. But for somebody who is just starting out, I would spend like equal, if not more time on the social media. Yeah. Because that'll really help you. It's just so much easier to get new fans that way.
Totally. I mean, if you want people to listen to your music, focus on the aspect of getting people to actually listen to your music. Like there's a difference between making the music and the act of people, you know, pulling people in to listen to that music. So you have to work on both for sure. But yeah, I think like you said, for you, for example, like you already have an audience on a platform, and so you can also leverage that in order to, you know, as advertising for the songs as well, you know, which is like the thing that would make the most sense, like for both of us to do, is like use the audience that we already have in order to like show them like this is the new music that we put out and everything like that.
Yeah, and it's just every time I try so hard to make something viral, it never happens.
No.
And like when I made that album documentary, that was just, I'm just getting this out because it's 100% me, and that's like my most viral video. It wasn't viral at all, but in the sense of it blew up way more than the usual amount of views that I get.
Right.
And that was just me being me and not like trying to manufacture.
Exactly.
Okay, this is my favorite part of the song. I'm going to really try to promote this.
Yeah.
And try to blow this up before it drops.
That's like every possible art form you can think of works like that as well. It's like when you just stop worrying about the really any aspect of how it's going to do or anything other than like I'm just making this because I want to make it, that's when it starts to fall apart. But if you have that mindset of like I'm just making this because I enjoy making it, that's when it actually like starts to do well. And it's kind of a paradoxical thing a little bit, but that's just generally how that goes, you know.
Totally.
Yeah. So
I'm glad I gave it a shot though.
Totally.
Now I know I'm not going to do that anymore because it kind of made my mind go numb.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that shit. So.
And now I'll be walking throughout the day and then like this kind of flashbang of, all right, guys, I'm in Costco and here are the top 5 fiber-rich, nutrient-dense foods you can get at Costco.
Yeah.
Because I'm just used to scrolling on social media so much now.
Yeah, it is pretty insane. Like when I get sucked into like scrolling a little bit too much, like I feel like my brain is just turned to mush. I feel like I just can't like think of anything. Like I don't have like funny jokes to say. I can't like make a conversation with human beings. It is crazy though, because like even the extent that we do it is probably not the extent that the majority of people do it. Like there's definitely times when I get pretty sucked in pretty hard.
But even so, it's been, let's say it's been 30 minutes. I feel like you and I are like, okay, we gotta get off of this.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that I know, which rightfully so, like if you're doing a 9 to 5 and you're back and you just don't want to think about anything, it's a great way to scroll. Yeah. But scrolling for like 2 hours, I can only imagine how much brain function you're using for the rest of the day after you spent 2 hours scrolling.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, it's like you said, like if I spend like 45 minutes just like on Instagram or something, I'm like, wow, I am a degenerate. Like, and my brain just ceases to function. And then it's also like hard to focus on anything else too, because you take your attention and your focus ability and just like scatter it into a million pieces and like throw it all over the place, and then like you're like, oh, I wonder why so many people have the ADHD and they can't focus on anything. Yeah, I fucking wonder why, man. Yeah, so don't scroll. That's the good play. Honestly, even when I because I always make a point to,
how do you do it? Because you post like basically every day. You post the shorts every day. I know you batch record. I should have done that.
I just mass produce.
You're also making different videos.
True.
Like they're all different videos, so I feel like that helps you. It's interesting to make this video because you're talking about this thing. But I was just posting the same thing with a different caption every day.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think the one thing that I definitely wouldn't bother with is doing the whole like TikTok editor thing, or like whatever it is, like CapCut, whatever people use, and then like downloading it from TikTok. That's all bullshit. Like I would just edit it in my like editing software, because I tried that a while ago, like with some of my earlier TikToks, to like add the text on there from inside of like Instagram or from inside of TikTok, and that just takes so long to do.
I heard it performs better if you do it within the app though.
See, that's what I've heard, but then also like I have a fucking video that has like 10 million plays and I didn't do any of that shit. So it's like, honestly, I think that goes back to my idea of like the Mr. Beast, like some of the best advice that Mr. Beast has ever given is, if you just make really good fucking content, people are going to watch it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what editor you use or what you're talking about.
No, you don't have to be like, I need to use this trending sound in order to get plays on my thing. It's like, dude, just make good content and people are going to find it. So I think, for me, I mass produce and I just film a bunch at once so that I have like just shorts for the week. Or like for the majority of the week. And so then I just take like a certain time of the day, like usually it'll be around like 10 o'clock or so when I just choose to like upload my short onto all the different platforms. And that usually lines up with like when I'll like have breakfast or whatever too, like I'll have some yogurt or like whatever the hell. And so I can kind of like take a break to do that and then upload. And then after that I just like don't be on my phone. That's all I do, and then I get off of it. And so that way I don't have to like spend too much time on there. The only thing I really have to do is like copy and paste the caption and like all the hashtags. But yeah, I mean, just in general, I try to just do certain things throughout the day where I like specifically don't have my phone with me, like specifically eating lunch. just started probably like a couple weeks ago specifically, but I started just eating lunch and like going outside and just not even taking my phone with me. And I'll just kind of sit there and like, it's weird at first because you're like, what do I do? Like my hands need to be doing something. I need a fidget spinner or something. But yeah, when I did that, I just started feeling a lot more like mentally clear.
Yep.
And there was a lot of days, like there's definitely been a few days where like it's gloomy outside and I don't feel like doing much of anything, and like I'll get really like demotivated or whatever, or unmotivated, whatever, and I'll just kind of like lay in bed for a while, and then I'll go eat lunch. I'll go maybe not even sit outside, but I'll just sit at the table and like not do anything, and that like unstimulating myself allows me to think clearly again. Because I notice even like if I'm listening to music constantly, like even when I'm working out or running or whatever, even that is like stimulating my brain so that I can't like formulate and like focus on my own thoughts. And so a lot of times, well, actually now in the morning, I kind of exclusively run just listening to a podcast, which may, debatably is more mental brain power that's taking up. But either way, I think for me, it's better because I don't have to like focus on something really in particular. And I'm also kind of like learning right away in the morning usually with whatever the podcast is. So it kind of stimulates my brain right away. And then, I try to just not be like stimulating my brain at all times, because I feel like that's kind of how everything is set up for you to be like constantly stimulated at all times. And that's just never good. And that's going to just make you like depressed and anxious and just kind of feel like shit in general. So, definitely read a fucking book or something, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's always, do you want to consume more or produce more?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're always consuming, then it's hard to produce. Some Bruce Lee quote, I'm going to butcher it, but it's like the height of cultivation always relies on a decrease rather than an increase. But that's not how it's done. So editor Coleman is going to upload the actual quote.
Yeah.
I know it's the height of cultivation something, but that's basically the gist. And
the general idea, yeah.
Yeah, if you're just constantly stimulating your brain, you don't give it any time to have thoughts. That's why like journaling at night is just so helpful to me, because it just gets like, I envision there's maybe 10 steps of quicksand that you just have to go through in order to get to that idea it's in your head. Like it is in there, but it's just so bogged down from all of these different things you've been thinking, or all this content you've been watching, or all this stimulus, that you just have to either write it down for 10 minutes and unlock that thought and have it push through those 10 steps. Or like when I've started getting back into the running and I'm doing it without any music or even a podcast, I'll work out with a podcast because I like doing that. I like learning about something, especially if it's about like, the creator economy or music. I like learning while I'm working out, but running is definitely a form of meditation. So is working out, so is lifting, but I feel like running more so. And, meditation is such a great way to unlock those thoughts as well. So just having no stimulus, and you really do have to break through the 10 minutes. Whatever those 10 minutes are, you got to push through, even if you're like, this is such a waste of time. I should be, reading a book, or I should be listening to this podcast, or at least doing something. Yeah. But then you unlock those thoughts and you actually give your brain some time to think.
I think that's kind of how it is. Like what you're describing is essentially the process for taking action on anything. It feels like you have to walk through the quicksand. Yeah. And then once you're out on the other side of the quicksand, it kind of gets the ball rolling.
Filming YouTube videos.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like same way. I'm editing this video and I know I need to film this clip, but that's the last thing I want to do. Yeah. Is like, it's not like I put on makeup before I film. Yeah. But I'm like, I'm just like, I'm not ready to film right now. Yeah. I haven't spoken at all today. Yeah. It's 10 a.m. I haven't spoken at all. I haven't
showered or shaved or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just not in the mood at all to film, and I'd rather spend my time editing. But the funny thing is, that's really probably 80% of the time I don't want to film. Yeah. And if I keep having that thought, then I'm never going to film that simple clip. Yeah. And then whenever I film it and I'm done, I think to myself, that took 10 minutes. Yeah. I could have done this in 10 minutes. It's like cleaning your room. Yeah, exactly. It's going to take 3 minutes. It's going to take 20 seconds to make your bed. Yeah. Just make your bed.
That's the thing. I think that's I haven't read Atomic Habits, but I know that's one of the points in Atomic Habits is like, just do the thing, even if it's just so small. Like if there's one dish in the sink, do the thing, because the act of doing the thing allows you to like keep doing the thing. And also, to build further on your analogy too, it's like in order to do an action, particularly an action that you are procrastinating or that you don't want to do, it's like 10 steps of quicksand and you're already standing in quicksand. So the longer you stand in the quicksand, the deeper you go into the quicksand and the harder it's going to be in order to take those 10 steps towards doing the thing that you're trying to do. So like you procrastinate cleaning your room or whatever, you sink deeper and deeper and deeper in, and it becomes harder and harder to actually get there to cleaning your room.
Yeah.
I think about even David Goggins, I remember him saying in an interview or podcast or whatever, he was like, man, I don't always like want to run. Like a lot of times I don't want to run. Like a lot of times I stare at my shoes for 30 minutes before I put those motherfuckers on. And it was like hearing him say that just goes to show like everybody deals with that.
Yeah.
And it's the thing where like you just have to get better at the act of doing. And I think doing is just a skill in of itself too, where you can just train your brain to be like, I'm just going to do this. And it doesn't like, I'm not going to have that like quicksand thing. You know, you can get better at walking through the quicksand essentially. So yeah, I think that's a really good point. Because I get that with so many things, with filming especially. Because I'm like, and then you start thinking of like excuses for like why you shouldn't film.
It's like, dude, it's gloomy outside. I need to get brighter.
Yeah. Oh, the lighting's bad. Like I'm not gonna be able to color grade this shot correctly, so I might as well wait.
Yeah, and then you think, or it's like recording vocals too. I'm the same way. You know, I just don't want to record vocals right now. And my thought is, you know, my nose is a little clogged. But it's like, dude, your nose has been clogged for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because it's like kind of allergy season. You just have to go through it. And it's going to take you 10 minutes maybe to record the same thing over and over again until you start clearing the nasal pathways. But you can get through it. Yeah. But just always saying tomorrow my nose is going to be unplugged, or tomorrow around 10 a.m. I'm gonna have taken a shower.
Yeah,
ready to film.
Yeah, exactly. Tomorrow I'll be ready to do it.
Yeah,
that's there's a quote. I don't know if it's Seneca or Epictetus, but one of them said, "The one thing all fools have in common is that they're always starting," and that's like exactly what we're talking about. It's like tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. You know, the classic day one kind of thing.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think just do it. Nike.
Yeah, Nike. Just get after it.
Just do it.
Also, your willpower is something that like grows, and it's something that actually has to be worked on. If there's something that you don't want to do and you do it, then you get better at doing things you don't want to do.
Yeah, I was watching the Huberman episode about that.
Yeah, Huberman talks about that. It's a part of the brain. I don't know what it's called.
I think it's the anterior mid-cingulate cortex.
Okay, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. I don't know exactly, but
he says that one a lot.
Yeah.
So I think it's that one.
It's more of a recent. There's been more recent like research that's come out about it. Like it wasn't like a common knowledge thing probably 5 years ago, but a lot of new studies have came out and basically summarized. There's a part of your brain that grows when you do things that you don't want to do. And that part of your brain is essentially like what you're talking about, like willpower. But they've noticed that part of the brain with people who live a really long time into their like hundreds, like 90s and hundreds, that part of their brain is really a lot bigger. But the crazy thing is, if you don't do something that you don't want to do, like you give in and you don't do the thing you have to do, that part of your brain shrinks.
Yeah.
And also what's crazy that he was talking about is, let's say like you really don't like cold plunges, but you do it anyways. Every time you do it, that part of your brain will grow. But if you start to like the cold plunge, your brain won't have the same reaction. Like it might not shrink the same way, but it's not going to have the same reaction. It's just doing the thing that you don't want to do. And I noticed that even with myself, like the more that I just like get my ass in gear and do the thing that I don't want to do, the better I get at doing things I don't want to do, which it's just so interesting how the human brain, like psychology works that way.
Yeah. I mean, right when you stop doing the thing for a few days, then it just becomes it's like running.
Yeah.
You know, you've run 3 miles and you're like, I just need to walk for maybe 2 minutes. I just need a little 2-minute walk or even a 30-second walk.
Yeah.
Getting back into running is one of the hardest things ever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, imagine that, like let's say your goal is like 6 miles and you run 3 and then you're like, oh, I need to stop and like tie my shoe or whatever. That's literally, you have like an actual momentum ball rolling. It just hits a wall. You stop completely and then you're trying to get that rolling again. You have to basically restart over completely. So I think what I've always thought is that when it comes to like just the act of doing things and like quote unquote motivation, it starts with something so small. And usually the something so small is me being like, or whoever being like, I don't have to do this thing today. Like I can take a day off from this, or like I don't have to cold shower today. Like it doesn't matter. Like for me, that's a big thing. Is like at the end of my shower every morning, I just run the cold for like a minute or two.
Yeah.
Just because I fucking hate it. Yeah. And also like the same thing with like running in the morning. It's like I do not enjoy running. Like I have shin splints. It's like painful. I don't even enjoy it. But like I do it because I know that like this is something that I need to do in order to get me to do all of the other things in my life that I don't want to do but have to do. And so it's honestly good to find a few things like that. Like find a few things that you just like don't enjoy at all, like that you just don't like, and just make sure you do them and like create a regimen out of doing the things you don't want to.
Yeah, I'll be real. I used to take cold showers every day for, I think, like, it was a year. I mean, there were some days when I didn't do it, but pretty much 80% of my showers were cold showers.
Yeah.
And I did that for like a year, but about half a year ago I stopped, and I haven't been able to get back into it. Yeah. So I haven't taken a cold shower in like half a year.
It's hard. I honestly, there's been a few times when I've done like full on cold shower for like the whole time, but the majority of the time I just do a hot shower and then the cold at the end.
Well, I also recently saw a study, and this was so just me being like, well, never doing that again because it's hard. Yeah. And it said like if you do it right after you work out, which I take a shower right after I work out, then it stops your hypertrophy.
Muscle growth, yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure that I'm sure the benefits of the cold shower or doing something that I don't want to do is better than losing maybe 2% of my gains.
Yeah.
But I could also like take the cold shower after I run.
I was gonna say that's what I do. Yeah. I cold shower after I run in the mornings, and then admittedly sometimes if I don't get super sweaty, I won't shower after working out. But the majority of times I get sweaty enough to where I shower twice. Yeah. And that second shower I just take a hot shower. Yeah. Which makes it to where like you can still get the cold shower in for the day, and then like knowing this one can be a cold shower, and then the next one I can be a hot shower. Yeah. It's also really good to hot shower before you sleep too, because it lowers your core body temperature and lets you sleep better. Allegedly. Huberman Lab podcast. Welcome to the Huberman Lab.
The Broberman Lab.
Yeah.
The Slodge Lab podcast.
Bro, we should start a podcast. There was actually shout out to the Slodger that was in the TikTok comments section of our clips, who somebody left one of those bullshit ass like we should start a podcast comments, and somebody was like, dude, it's actually a really good podcast, like you should watch it. Yeah,
shouts out, man.
Shout out to whoever that was. I don't know your name at the top of my head.
You have the exact same humor that we do if you don't think that this is just a total bro we should start a podcast. Yeah. It actually isn't, but it also is a total waste of time. But it's a good waste of time if you're into the music, art, kind of do-it-yourself kind of scene. Yeah. Because you can waste time and have a good time, but still get some gems here and there. And we just, it's like a little community.
Exactly. Also, like, I think with a lot of podcasts, too, it's just, like, I mostly enjoy the people who are doing the podcast. Yeah. Like, I don't feel like I always need to get something out of it. Unless I'm watching, like, Huberman Lab, then I feel like, okay, I need to learn something from this podcast. But if I'm watching, like, I don't know, Bad Friends, or if I'm watching like Theo Von, like I don't give a shit about like what they're really talking about, or like,
I mean, they're always talking about nothing.
Yeah.
Well, Theo Von, he has good interviews, like he actually. But Bad Friends, they just do the same thing every episode, and it's funny every time.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, they're just talking. Like that's kind of what a podcast is. It's like they're just talking about shit. So that's kind of what we do. That's what we do here on this podcast. But we also talk about music.
We do talk a lot about music. Also, music guys, new merch.
It's here.
It's here, guys. How incredible is this?
Yeah, finally.
Talk about it, Felix.
Let's see it. So we've been waiting for this for so long. As you can see, we got the little pocket design and we got the back design back there. Pretty cool. Fish tee. We also have this one, and we have you can't even see it actually. We have we've got the fish design and we have the mountain design, as you can see right here. Coleman's going to just do the podcast like this for the rest of the time.
All right, so let's get into the questions, guys.
Yeah. 2 new Sound Lodge shirt designs available on the store right now, so definitely go check those out because they're pretty flippin' awesome. And we were going to have hats. Evidently, we don't. So we just got shirts. But go check them out because they're super cool.
Felix is correct. The shirts, the designs are all hand-drawn, which is pretty flippin' awesome, if you ask me. They're also on the hats back there, but
I never see those.
Sometimes it's pretty difficult working through other companies. We've learned.
We're not going to say what those particular companies are and what the name of the company
and
is.
what problems we're having, which are just, it's like, hey, why is there a fee for this thing as well?
Yeah, like why is there a fee to get our stickers removed from your store? Your stickers are stickers that you never sent out to basically anybody. That's weird.
And you also didn't tell us that there's a monthly charge to hold 5 stickers at your warehouse.
There's a $25 monthly charge, more than a Netflix subscription, just for us to fucking hold your stickers and never use them.
We've had to put money into our PayPal account 8 times because we're getting charged for the Shopify and for holding
basically a $25 charge every month for nothing.
Yeah,
essentially. And then what's so funny to me is the idea that we pay them $12 for somebody to literally like grab the envelope of our stickers and chuck it in the fucking trash.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not going to say what particular company that is, but they're, it's a little bit rough, and we understand because they're a pretty large.
Yeah,
company.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sure if we switch to the other one, the grass is always greener. We're gonna have these problems. The thing we need to do is make our own clothing, but we have to get the gear for that. And in order to get the gear for that, we have to be a profitable business.
Yeah, so buy some shirts now. So that we can get some better shirts for you guys.
No,
shirts are sick, though.
Dude, jokes aside, this shirt is so cool. The back design, so this is one of the teasers, which we've been saving up for the past 3 months to buy, which is embarrassing.
Our allowance. We've been saving our allowance.
$20. 2 guys can't raise $20 in 3 months.
Yeah.
But we have the design on the back, and it's a little low, so we've raised it on the ones that you're going to be ordering where we're the right size, but it's not even that big of a deal. But man, I love this shirt. The design is so sick. Sound Lodge, Oklahoma City, 2025. I'm really proud of this drawing of the fish and the whole.
It's awesome.
It's just pretty sick, and I'm proud of it. And Felix should be proud of his design because his is sick too. It's a mountain. It's just really creative. So, check out the merch. I don't think we're going to be making a video for it because we made a video for our first launch, and those designs are still up. The original Sound Lodge hat. We now have a black color corduroy. That corduroy cap is the coolest thing ever. Y'all should check it out.
It's so sick.
But yeah, we got the hoodie, we got the shirts, but we're gonna be making 2 more designs, and then maybe we'll do like a designated video. But we're always gonna be making original hand-drawn designs because we're just really passionate about like that kind of clothing.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're always gonna. The reason that we have a lot of problems is because we want everything to be kind of perfect.
Yeah.
And the other companies don't really give a shit. So we are going to always strive to give you guys the best stuff possible. And so if something is available for you guys to buy, it's because we've been like, okay, this is good to go.
Yeah.
Which is
like
Exhibit A and B.
Yeah, when we have a brown hat with a white logo, we usually don't think to ourselves, I think we should add red lines on it.
Yeah, we should just add some random streak of red through the fish.
We usually don't think like that, so.
Maybe they just wanted to gut the fish. That's what it is. This is cut here kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a little tutorial hat.
Yeah.
If you ever
How to gut a fish.
You got a big fish you want to cook, you can just take off your hat and make an incision on the back.
I forget. Yeah, I forget how to cut a fish open.
The guts are on the back.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Also, make an incision right above his eye.
Yeah. That's where you do it. Mm-hmm. And in the eyeball, actually. You stab him in the fucking eyeball. So, yeah, anyways.
Guys, jokes aside, please buy some merch.
Please. If you want the podcast to continue, please buy the merch.
No, we're going to make this podcast no matter what. I mean, we're definitely putting a lot of money into it, but we just enjoy the podcast. We enjoy y'all. We've got a great community. The only help we need from you is watching. Yeah. If you enjoy watching, then keep watching. Like, you don't have to buy merch.
No, well, that's the thing also. Like, even if we completely took the store down, like, we'd still keep making the videos. Yeah, and it would just be a YouTube channel. So, regardless, like, we're going to keep making the podcast and keep making content for you guys to enjoy. And, yeah, I mean, also, that's the thing. Like, we talk about the merch, we talk about, like, sound packs and stuff, but, like, you don't have to, like, feel pressured to, like, buy into the things because we make these videos for free for you guys to see for free on the internet. So, yeah, I think that's the way it should be. And if you want to support, you can, but it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Lots of big dreams for the Sound Lodge, for the Slodgers. Lots of cool things we got planned, but things just take time, man. You gotta learn that. You gotta understand, especially when you start learning. Maybe I shouldn't spread myself so thin
Well, that's the
it's
thing.
hard to really build up so many different things.
Things take time, and we have so many things that are all taking time.
Individual music, band music, Sound Lodge, individual YouTube channels, social media.
So much shit.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is, like, it's all building up slowly, which is nice, you know, and it'll get there eventually. So,
yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's been going on. What's been going on with you for the last week or so?
Last week or so, last week I talked about the actually 2 weeks ago when we had the roommates episode. I talked about how, hey guys, I'm gonna have the video up of us making the country song, and then last week I said, guys, the video is definitely gonna be up this time. And then this week I'm telling y'all that the video is gonna be up by this time this episode drops, because this video is sponsored and there was a deadline of last Friday and I had to push it back because I've just got so many different things I'm working on.
Yeah. And then next podcast episode we're gonna be like, this week it's dropping this Friday.
Yeah. No, the video is so cool though. I'm excited for y'all to see it. But
I'm super excited to see it, just because all the camcorder footage in there and everything. Yeah. I'm excited to see how that turned out.
I also got a new camcorder.
Yeah.
For the first time, I have I think
probably working camcorder.
Yeah. Well, I have 8 different camcorders. So I've got the big cam.
That's fucking absurd.
Yeah, it's unreal. I've got the big camcorder, which was just the biggest snag of my lifetime.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
unbelievable.
crazy.
That thing retailed at like $2,000, I think.
Yeah.
And I bought it for $80.
Yeah, I think when they sold, whenever it was, like, I don't know, 2000, early 2000s or something, they sold it for like $2,000, which, I mean, with like inflation, that'd be like $4,000 now. For retail, a lot of times, like, on Marketplace, I've seen that camera go up a couple times and it's like $800. So, like, the fact that you got that for less than like $500 is nutty.
Yeah. So if people don't buy merch, I can sell that if I have to.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But so that one is my favorite camcorder, but I can't bring it anywhere because it's huge. Yeah, we bring it whenever we film Park Rangers music videos and stuff. And
for music videos, it's good.
It's so helpful for music videos because it gives you the camcorder look, but it also is 16:9. It's not like boxy.
It's like a cool mix between nice camera and shitty camera.
Totally.
Which is cool.
So ever since I bought that, I was like, I still need to get a small camcorder. I mean, you definitely inspired me in all this because you started using your camcorder in a lot of your videos. Camcorders are just so cool, man. So
they're dope. It's kind of the wave, dude. What was so cool
really
is seeing when I did that song contest, all of the people that watched my channel that also were using camcorder footage.
That's cool.
And I mean, obviously, I didn't like fucking invent using a camcorder, but like I can't help but think that some people were definitely inspired by.
Oh yeah, I mean, you inspired me, man. And you've got the handheld one, and so I've been just on Marketplace for the past year, looking for a handheld camcorder, and I bought 8 of them, and they all have various problems with them.
Yeah, none of them fucking work.
The last one worked perfectly, but it just made a super loud noise.
Yeah,
and that was so annoying. Because also every single one, when I get it, I don't have a charged battery, so I have to buy the battery pack. Yeah, buy extra batteries. So I have in this closet behind me, I have, I think, 4 different camcorder batteries and battery chargers. Yeah. For this one that I just bought, though, works. Fingers crossed. Yeah. And I just bought a new battery and battery pack for that, so it'll be exciting. I'll start seeing more things. Also, you'll start seeing more footage from me that's outside of the house. That's camcorder footage.
Yeah, it's really convenient for that.
Yeah, because I just want to go places and hang out with people and get footage of that. Totally. Even if I'm not putting it online, I want that footage. And I don't want to film with my phone because phone footage is the worst.
Yeah, it sucks. You always know, too. Like, you look at it and you're like, that's an iPhone video. Yeah, that's pretty sick, man. It was fun going and getting that thing.
I'm excited. Yeah. What's up with you?
Me. Nothing crazy. We've been playing Minecraft lately.
It's been so fun, man. I just want to play Minecraft right now.
Yeah. Thanks for watching the Slodge podcast, guys. We're going to go play Minecraft.
I'm so excited to renovate that village. That's one of my favorite things to do. And I've always been a city guy. Like, whatever game I'm playing, I want to build, like, some working community. Yeah. And I've never played Sims, and I feel like I would love Sims, but I just love seeing, like, people interact. Yeah. I would always love the little city builders where you build the roads and you can see the cars moving around. Yeah. And that's why I love going to villages in Minecraft, because I love the villagers. Yeah. And I want to make, like, I just enjoy that.
The villagers, they need better AI, I think.
I agree. I think it'd be they've been slowly upgrading, like, over the past, 15 years, they've been adding more jobs and stuff like that,
Totally.
which is really cool to see different outfits. And they also, there's new like mechanics where some of the villagers will meet up at the town square for like 2 minutes, and you'll see like 3 different villagers talk to each other next to the little bell, which is pretty awesome.
Such a great game, man.
It's, I mean, unbeatable. But yeah, we've been playing a lot of that.
I have a sick little house going on.
Yeah,
I'm making
river house.
Yeah, I'm making a cellar that's gonna be my chest room.
Oh, that's sick.
That was what, because I was talking about how like every time I have a new idea, it creates just like a new problem for me. And this, because I'm building kind of like a water house, so
your underground is water.
It's water, yeah. So I had to like clear all the water out from the underneath part.
So you're gonna make your chests barrels.
That'd actually be a good idea.
That'd be cool.
I don't really
like
use
a
barrels
wine
a whole
cellar.
lot. Yeah, that'd be
cool.
awesome. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. We're going to play Minecraft now.
The coolest thing that you could do, I think you should do this, is instead of 1 layer of floor, it should be 3 layers of floor. And you'll go floor, water, so like an empty pocket, and then another floor under that. And that way, the ceiling of the cellar, there'll be water over it, and you can have it drip. If you do stone, it'll drip.
Really good.
That'd be really cool. That'd be a lot of work, but that'd be awesome.
I might be able to do that because I think I had enough space. But I'm not sure. Either way, I'm excited to work on that more.
I think we should.
Yeah, fuck this. We're gonna play Minecraft.
No, I can't, dude. I'm so swamped. I also recently hopped back into my, not my like nightly journal, but my other big idea journal, and I had to just reevaluate on my goals and everything for this year. Yeah, because I was like, I can't keep doing what I'm doing and like pushing off videos and uploading a video every 2 months. Like that's just, I had this same idea like two months ago of like doing more quantity over quality, but I just didn't even do it. Yeah. So this time I'm really, sticking to it, and it's all going to start with uploading this country video. Yeah, I get that. And then after this, I'm going to just start uploading just shitty videos. That's what I wrote down. I'm just going to start uploading videos that aren't the best. Yeah. And that's just, I have to do that.
Was that your main like goal change?
Yeah, it was that. It was finances. It was saving money. I just need to start saving money because I saved money so much in high school. But now that I, do this for a living, my saving, like I'm still saving so much money, but it's going to rent. Yeah, exactly. And because my overhead just isn't high at all. So like my saving rate, if I'm making more money, I'd be saving so much money. But all my saving just goes immediately to rent and groceries and other things. Like I don't spend money on frivolous things. But it was just I need to start saving money, which means really I can't budget my money any more than I am right now. Yeah. So it's really just making more money.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that I was even thinking about the other day is like I definitely saved a lot of money like when I was living at home. But then obviously that's how it is. Yeah. But I'm making more money now than I was before. But I just have 100 times the expenses that I had before. So it just makes it to where it kind of just levels out, And I feel like a good goal for me is to like be at least like positive at the end of the month, like by a little bit. Yeah. And like if I'm like at least like $100 up, like I'm like, okay, we're on a good track. Yeah. But even thinking like that, like I was thinking about like, okay, if I had no expenses at all, like what I would save for like, 3 months would be like a pretty decent amount. But thinking about like having all those expenses, like it would take me like a year to save that same amount of money. So like literally it's just comes down to like you said, making more money.
Yeah. But it just, it's the complete opposite of what we do. Yeah. Because like art and money, it's just so like muddy dealing with both of those two things.
Totally. Because it like you're saying, it makes it like muddy. Like it kind of like gets like the art all kind of like
dirty.
Yeah, dirty.
But we got rent to pay.
I'm gonna start selling drugs.
Y'all heard it here first. Oklahoma City, if you're in the OKC area. What are you specializing in?
Oh, I'm selling meth. We're in Oklahoma, dude.
You're not even gonna start at the ground floor. Start doing a little weed and build yourself.
I'm going straight to meth, man. I got meth and PCP.
You'll have quite the client base here.
Come shop, man. Yeah, I become a drug kingpin.
Money
sucks.
But dude, money is everything.
True.
It really is. Not like it should be priority in everything, but in the grand scheme of things, of how the world works, it really kind of is everything.
100%.
It's money and then love.
Yeah.
Those are like the two biggest things that rule the world is money and love.
Exactly.
And one is a lot more pure.
Exactly.
And then the other one is a lot more practical.
Exactly. I think you can for sure be happy just straight up off of like love and compassion for your life and the people that are in your life, but you're not really ever going to be completely free unless you're financially free.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest thing for me. I think somebody even asked me this on my stream one day. They were like, what is your biggest goal, or like what's your biggest like dream? And my answer was, I just want to basically not have to worry about money and be able to do like what I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, just like, creative and financial freedom. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. Like being able to be creative and be financially free. That's like the goal. And I think honestly the funny thing is that you think about, like, everybody sees the YouTubers or the influencers or whatever who are like the big like million followers, or like even like 500,000 followers, you can make a decent living.
Dude,
you see
I think
those
you
guys,
hit 100K, you can 250K.
Yeah.
250K, like you can make that work.
For sure.
Pretty easily.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, like people who have like 1 million subscribers, they're living in like, they're probably making like 300,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're making an absurd salary to where like they are a rich person for sure. Yeah. And you see those people and you're like, wow, like that would be so awesome. But you don't realize like all of the other levels that are below that. Like the level that we're at is like minimum wage salary influencer, where like we're not living in like a super nice means, like we don't have like nice cars and like all that kind of stuff.
We're below minimum wage.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. Yeah.
But I think it also comes down to the niche.
Yeah.
Like you have what, 70K? Mm-hmm. So you have 70K. If you had 70K in like gaming or another niche, I feel like you'd get more views, you'd get more sponsorships, and you'd make more money. But our niche is just it's hard to get sponsorships, and it's also just hard to get a lot of views, because like it's hard to make a viral video about music or about making music. Like I was thinking about, we were talking about 1 million subscribers. That's unheard of, and nobody who makes the content that we make has 1 million subscribers. Now, you can think of music producers. You can think of Andrew Huang. Yeah. I'm not thinking about him. I'm thinking about like indie DIY people making music and documenting the music making process and like filming with camcorders and really having that vintage feel and just being authentic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get to 1 million subscribers doing that. You can get to 1 million subscribers making music content if you're like Andrew Huang or like Rob and you really think about titles and like I tried out I'm not shading on any of these people. I love both of these creators. Yeah. Like I tried out the most unique instrument that could go viral. Yeah. But you can't really do like I made an album by myself and have that get 1 million views. Yeah. I could be wrong, but that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. I don't know if I like fully agree, because I do feel like what people consume changes so much to where like I think the standard is kind of like the Mr. Beast, like I did this kind of content, like I did this wacky thing, kind of like get your attention, thumbnail that's like them doing the face and all that kind of shit. I think that's kind of the standard, but I think also the fact that a lot of like I just saw a video recently and I think it almost has like it might be like 100,000, but it also I thought maybe like a couple 100,000. This guy was just talking in like a forest and it was like just make an album and worry about the quality later or something like that.
I saw that.
Yeah, exactly. And that got recommended to so many people, and I think that's a perfect example of that guy just filmed that in like 4:3 ratio and like just whatever, and like it just happened to catch on to the algorithm, and it like just happened to be what people needed to see at that time, which I think is the same case with your video too. And I think so much of it is just up to like chance. Like I never thought that any of my like shorts that I make could get really that many views at all, but I think that kind of mindset is what that mindset is what makes you think like that, because that mindset of like, well, these videos probably aren't going to get that many views, makes it to where your brain doesn't even like believe that you could get that many views. Whereas, you know, if you were like, this is going to get 1 million views, of course you're going to be disappointed most of the time. But like, it allows you to be like, yeah, like some of these videos could pop off, you know?
Yeah. No, that is true. I mean, that's how I made videos for like 3 years when I first started out.
Yeah.
Or at least after my first video went like semi-viral, not viral, but it got like 100,000 views. How to make bedroom pop video. Every video after that, I knew personally this video that I'm editing is going to go viral. And I think it would lead me to make pretty inauthentic art. And I would really play into trying to make a song like this artist that's super popular or who just dropped an album.
Because you're thinking about how it could perform, you know?
Exactly. And then recently, like past year and a half ago, I just stopped caring about that.
Yeah.
And, you know, my channel, I could have had maybe 100,000 subscribers by now. But now I just get to make the videos I want to make, and it takes me 3 months.
Yeah.
And I should probably speed up that process a little bit.
Hey, you know, I think that's kind of what it's all about. It's like just being able to do the things at your own pace. Because obviously, if you're trying to optimize, like if you're trying to make the most money and get the most content out there as possible, like you would hire an editor and you would hire a bunch of people to do these things for you so that you could make the most amount of videos possible and, you know, get the most amount of work done. But like that's kind of not really what the goal is here, you know? So I think there's certainly a way to optimize for, you know, making the most amount of content, but that's not really what we're trying to do. And also, a lot of it too, it just with the monetary aspect, a lot of it comes down to just being able to monetize your audience and your following like better. Like some people are just really good at that and some people just aren't.
Yeah, I remember when I first talked about my finances when I lived in Nashville and how I just wasn't making a lot of money. And that was when I announced my mixing and mastering service, which helped me. There were a lot of people that said, dude, make merch or do this X, Y, and Z. Like, we want to support you, but there's no way that we can pay you money.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a Patreon. I didn't have, you know, I had sound packs, but people were like, I'm getting zero value out of that. At least give me something that's giving me like 10% value.
Yeah. Also, if you have a couple sound packs, like the people who want to support probably already have the sound packs.
Yeah, that's very true. And yeah, so people literally said, we want to support you, but you don't have, you haven't opened up that many means. And it was mainly because I didn't want to be the creator who had like 8 different things and always would shout them out. But at the same time, it's like people who like your videos, they want to support you. Yeah. And that's just such a blessing to have those people. So, you know, you're totally correct. Like there are better ways you can monetize your following.
Exactly. And I think as long as you stay authentic to what you want to make and like the stuff that you're actually proud of when you're monetizing stuff as well, it's all going to tie in. And I think you probably won't feel like as guilty about promoting something that you're really truly proud of the same way that you would like just promoting some like fucking AI bullshit sponsorship thing, you know? Because I think that's the thing. Like when you make a movie or whatever, when somebody makes like a huge blockbuster hit movie, they spend a bunch of money making that movie and it's like they're super passionate about it and like they are like, yeah, it's $20 a ticket because like we made this thing and like that's people just know like, okay, you spend a bunch of money on this thing and a bunch of time and a bunch of effort on this, like we're paying for it, you know? Like it's not like they're making us pay to watch this movie that had a, you know, $10 million budget. What the hell? So I think monetizing art, some people get weird about it, but most people know like everybody's trying to make a living, you know?
Yeah. We're also in a culture that's really popularized the idea of free content. Like videos,
there's so much free content.
Yeah, videos were never free. Yeah, like you had to go to Blockbuster and get the video, or even before that, you had to go to the movie theater, to watch the thing. Or music, you had to go to the record store. Yeah, you couldn't just go on YouTube, which is a free platform, and listen to any song you want to listen to. Yeah, exactly. Or watch any video you want to watch. And there's like so many amazing videos on YouTube. Like.
Just for free. You can just watch them
for free. And I think it's really trained people to expect things for free. Yeah. And that's also a huge danger is there's so many creators that I've seen who made content on YouTube for free. And then they were like, we have to make money. So we're going to start having to charge y'all for these things. And then everybody's like, dude, you used to give this to us for free.
Yeah.
That's the
problem.
Yeah. So it is difficult when everybody is just so used to listening to music for free.
Yeah.
And like for us to spend, I'm so happy with making videos for people for free, because that's always the way I've done it.
Yeah.
And it also helps a lot with discoverability. But music as well. Like I love how anybody can listen to a song I made. But at the same time, thinking about if I made music 20 years ago and I spent like as much time as I do mixing and mastering and producing all the songs.
Yeah.
And then having it drop, and then having people like having friends and family come and buy the record.
Yeah.
Like that would be
exactly.
cool.
I think that's such a good point, is that the mindset about making a particular piece of art was very, very different, 20, 30 years ago.
You have to have a song go viral if you want to make money from it.
Exactly.
Which is unbelievable. Like there were a lot of artists back then who nobody ever heard of, but like their community. And their community loved that artist, and they helped him pay rent because they would buy everything that he made.
Yeah,
but that's unheard of now, because you have Spotify and you have YouTube, which are Spotify not really so much, but YouTube. Like I love YouTube. YouTube is like one of my favorite platforms of all time.
Yeah.
Spotify, not so much. I think the CEOs are kind of a little crazy.
Are they?
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't go, because Spotify. Y'all should listen to my music on Spotify.
Yeah.
But yeah, just they're also.
I've made a collective $30 off of my music on Spotify.
True.
So.
True. I'm dropping that. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they raised the subscription price like every 5 months, they raise it by like $2, and like you're not going to notice that. And now they're saying that they're going to start putting ads in premium memberships, and you have to get like the premium plus membership to not have ads. So
okay, fuck them.
Yeah, dude. Also, Spotify pays the least amount of money to people, and
they do, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time,
isn't it like double the amount of money that you make on Apple Music versus Spotify?
I think so. Yeah, Tidal even more so. But like, nobody uses Tidal. People use Apple Music, but Apple Music. I don't think Apple Music is 2 times. I don't think Apple Music is that great either.
It's definitely a significant amount more than Spotify, though, because Spotify is like you barely get any money. Unless you're fucking Taylor Swift, and then you.
It kind of makes sense with so many people uploading music. Yeah, we should probably stop allowing everybody to upload music on Spotify.
I agree. I think. Well, we were talking about that. How like, what did Caleb say? Like 90% of songs that are uploaded to Spotify have like less than 100 streams or something.
No, I think it was like less than 10.
Yeah, it's like, dude, if your song, genuinely, this is gonna sound bad, because there's a lot of people out there that are like this, but like, if your song has less than 50 streams after like a year, after like 6 months, a year of being up, it should be taken down.
Yeah,
go put that shit on fucking SoundCloud.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Spotify I feel like it's a professional music streaming service where like we don't need to have like AI cover art people who are uploading their music that like sounds like dog shit. It's on the platform just taking up space for no reason. Like literally nobody's listening to it. That's the reason to have music on Spotify, is so like people can listen to it. And if you're not even like sitting there promoting your music and like trying to get people to listen to it and like caring about it, why the fuck should anybody else care about your music? Spotify should just take it down.
I agree. I made music for 4 years before I put it on Spotify. Yeah. And I would always upload it on SoundCloud and YouTube and stuff. And
it's a perfectly fine place to upload shit.
Yeah, and I took Spotify so seriously. Like my first single, I was like, okay, I'm proud of this one. Mm-hmm. This one's going on Spotify. Yeah. And it was a big deal, but I think nowadays it's not as big of a deal, because you can just do it for free, basically.
Literally for free.
Yeah,
and you can go to United Masters and do it completely for free.
Yeah, and with the whole AI thing, I totally agree with that as well. Like people just making, not even AI, like there's people making AI music as well, and just that's also a scary thing. If you start getting a lot of AI music that's like taken off,
you need to be beheaded if you're making AI music.
I've heard stories of like, there's this one dude who makes AI music for like 6 different profiles, and he's making bank, and they're all performing so well, and they're just like, I'm not gonna speak out of my ass because I don't know what they sound like, but
probably sounds like shit.
I totally agree, dude. If there's 100,000 songs uploaded every hour, something like that, can't really wrap my head around that one. Yeah. Dude, if you can't get 50 people to listen to your song in 2 years, either A, you don't deserve to be on the platform, or actually, there's only one point, and it's, hey, your music isn't good enough. Because like not
or you don't take it seriously enough.
Yeah.
That's
true.
the big thing.
Those are the two things. Either A, it's not good enough to where like maybe 20 of your family members listen to it because you sent it to them, but they never listen to it again because they're like, dude, this shouldn't be on Spotify.
Yeah.
Or two, like you said, you don't take it seriously enough. You don't promote it. And if that's the case, dude, just don't put it on Spotify. Put it on SoundCloud.
Exactly.
I'm not
fucking Bandcamp or some other thing.
I don't want to discourage people from uploading their music. I think you should, but upload it to. I'm not going to tell what people do. What you want to do, but I think
do what you want. But like, music that is on the top tier of like streaming services, professional streaming services. You need to upload that music, and you also should promote it. Yeah. Like, if you're not promoting the music at all, if you're promoting it even a little bit, it's gonna get at least like 50 streams in a year. You fucking listen to it yourself 40 times if you need to. Like, if you can't even do that, it means it's not good enough to be on streaming services. Like, if you yourself can't even listen to it enough times to like pad the stats to get to 50 plays, that shit needs to be taken down. Yeah,
there's also just so many dead artist profiles. Yeah. Which, like, dude, I'm like, because I have so many different profiles myself. Like, my Nowadays account, I haven't dropped music on there. Yeah. And I would understand if Spotify says, hey, you haven't dropped music in 2 years. Yeah. And you've only had like 50 streams. I think I've had more than that. But if they said that and then they were like, we're going to take down your profile, I'd be like, that makes sense. Yeah. Because like I'm taking up bandwidth on this platform. Yeah. And that is an absurd amount of music to be dropped every year. And I don't know if they have to pay for that. I think that was one of the reasons they're upcharging the monthly charge because of their bandwidth. Like they can't control. I was gonna say it's
probably taxing on their servers.
Yeah, it's taxing on their servers, and they can't control the bandwidth. So, and also apparently Spotify has the worst quality audio. Yeah. I watched a video and he said it's like basically watching a 480p instead of like a 4K. And like Tidal has really good audio. Apple Music has the lossless as well. They do. Like other services take it a lot more seriously than Spotify. Yeah. And Spotify's more just like, aesthetic pleasing, easy to use.
It's like the iPhone of streaming services.
That's a great point, yeah. When there's literally the iPhone in Apple Music.
Yeah. Their Apple Music's version is just dog shit.
Yeah,
so it's weird that it works that way. But yeah, I think honestly...
delete these profiles.
Yeah, the criteria should literally be like, if you have less than 10 monthly listeners and you've been inactive for like maybe 3-4 years, your profile should be deleted.
I think this leads into a good question of what's our unpopular opinion in music. Yeah. I don't know if this is unpopular. I think it might be a little hot what we're saying. Because like I think you should have to like submit something to Spotify, or I'm talking about all streaming services. I'm talking about Apple Music too. I'm talking about Tidal. I'm not talking about SoundCloud. That's free. Yeah. I think everybody should upload to SoundCloud. That's what I started with.
There should be a platform where you can upload for free. I mean, the same with YouTube. I think anybody should be able to upload whatever videos they want to YouTube. Yeah. That should never change. Same thing with, I think SoundCloud should be the version of that for music. But I think, you can't, not anybody can put a movie on fucking HBO Max. Yeah. Like, you can't just put a movie on...
I was going to say, is that a good comparison? Saying, like, streaming services or whatever.
Yeah, that's what... I mean, it's a streaming service for music and streaming service for videos. Is like, not everybody can put music on there. And I don't think it should be as exclusive as HBO Max or Netflix or whatever the hell. But I think that there should be at least some form of moderation to where, like, not anybody... in the world can just upload music that no one listens to, because genuinely there is no actual way that like they shouldn't make the like crazy criteria on YouTube where, like, for example, they did the monetization thing on YouTube where like you have to have 1,000 subscribers. I think that's a lot. Like they might have lowered that by now, but I think that's a lot to ask of somebody.
It's still 1,000 subscribers to get AdSense, but they've also introduced the either 1,000 subscribers or X amount of watch time. Yeah, which makes sense.
Oh, is it like, either or?
Yeah, it's either or. Okay. And then
I remember it used to be both.
They also have 500 subscribers if you want to get memberships. So you can still find a way to monetize with 500.
I see.
But so it's still 1,000 if you want to get AdSense.
Either way, that's a lot to ask of somebody, because 1,000 subscribers takes a long time to get there.
Yeah, I mean, we're at like 450.
Yeah. So I don't think that it should be that crazy, but I think like maybe the way to do it is to be like, okay, everybody can upload onto there, but you have a certain amount of time to get a certain amount of views, because there's no way, like, you have to be taking your music seriously if you're putting it onto major streaming services like that.
Yeah.
And if you're not, there's no way that you're taking your music seriously if you can't get like fucking 50 streams in like a month.
I think we should clarify, because I feel like both of us are on the same page of taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Not, hey, you need X amount of streams.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the like proposal letter that you send to the streaming services, you say, you know, you might not have a lot of streams, but I've been doing this for 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I will take it seriously, and I won't just upload a few songs and then never look back.
Yeah.
And just showing that, you know, you're not just gonna upload a song every 4 days and it be a trap beat.
Yeah.
Because people do that.
Yeah.
And also there's a lot of people that upload the trap beat and then feature Drake.
Yeah.
And it goes on my release radar.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate that.
Well, that's the thing, dude. Like, don't use platforms like that to just upload your beats, or like just to upload like shit that you don't really care that much about, and just like spam it all over Spotify. Because the thing is, you want to be, even the way that Spotify works, it doesn't make sense to me that they don't do this, because the way that Spotify works is like they get a profit from people listening to your music. And if people are uploading music that nobody wants to fucking listen to, it doesn't benefit anyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't benefit Spotify, and it doesn't benefit the artist or anybody. It doesn't benefit the listener by having like a whole bunch of like random stuff clogged up on your Spotify page. So like it would make logical sense to me to delete those inactive profiles and profiles that like they can't even get more than like 50 streams on a song. And I would say maybe like 6 months. 6 months is like a good time frame.
Not even
that's
song,
generous.
Just 50 listeners in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, I think we also need to clarify, these numbers that we're proposing aren't high.
Yeah.
We're talking about profiles that have 1 monthly listener or 0 monthly listeners. They have like 5 monthly listeners in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be that shouldn't take up bandwidth on the server anymore.
Not even 6 months. Like, people who have 3 monthly listeners in like 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's no way that you can't get that many people to listen to your music. Like, you can send an email to just random people and be like, hey, I've got this new song, you should check it out. Or like literally go, you know, out on the street and do, you know, like gay son or daughter street interview, like, and just have them listen to your music. Or like, do whatever you need to do, but like actually care about people listening to your music. And if you don't care about people listening to your music, then Spotify shouldn't care about people who are listening to your music either, and they should take your shit down.
Yep.
That's the main gist of this.
I think
that's my hot take.
I think there should be a purge of the streaming services. And if that means that, like, you know, my Nowadays account gets deleted, I had an old band with my friend, if that gets deleted, if my Still Coleman, I think my Still Coleman gets streamed, so I don't think that would get deleted. But like, if it means that these other profiles get deleted, then yeah, go ahead. My Coleman Payne profile is never going to get deleted because I take that seriously.
Right.
Park Rangers isn't going to get deleted because we're uploading music to that.
Yeah.
Soul Fizo, those aren't going to get deleted because we upload music regularly.
Yeah.
So like, and we take it seriously. That's really the heart of what we're saying. We're not saying that you need to, you know, like make a bunch of content and get X amount of streams. It's just like, show that you care.
Yeah.
And you're not just uploading beats to Spotify, because nobody wants to listen. Lo-fi beats are another thing. Like, I'll listen to lo-fi beats on Spotify all the time, but nobody wants to listen to your trap beat or even like your indie rock beat with no vocals.
Yeah.
That just, it doesn't really.
Don't upload type beats onto
YouTube, and what I'm not saying like your instrumental album shouldn't be on there, because like yours is like indie rock, but it's not. That's not a beat.
Yeah.
There needs to be a different word for that. Like, there's a difference between a beat that you're making, because you're making type beats.
Yeah.
I think type beat's a good way to say it.
I think, type beat. Because I think of type beat and I think of like 8 bars of drums, 8 bars of looped over, you know, guitar.
And there's not like a consistent theme to the songs or a motif or a melody that acts like the vocals, because the person making the beat knows that I don't want this to just be an instrumental. I want this to be like a piece of music that you can consume and not just think, okay, where are the vocals?
Yeah. Really, honestly, it all boils down to like, if you want people to care enough to listen to your music, make them care enough to listen to your music. And if you don't, then no one else should. And put that shit on SoundCloud if you need to.
Is that a hot take? I want to see. Drop in the comments, guys. Let us know.
Let us know.
Are we being elitist here because we've made music for X amount of years?
I think it's a logical take. Like,
Yeah.
generally, like, even if you have never promoted or made content or even if you've never made music before, like, this is your first music, if you can't get 50 listeners in 6 months, it either means your music's not good enough or it means you didn't give enough of a shit to promote that enough. So I think genuinely, if you try hard enough, you will find a way to get there. And if you don't find a way to get there, it means you didn't try hard enough, which means you probably don't deserve it. So,
Yep.
Hot take, but that's my take.
That was a question from Svet357. What would you say is your most unpopular opinion? I think that might be pretty unpopular. At least it's going to make some people mad, because there are some people that do that don't really take it seriously and just want to put it on Spotify. And I think, hey man, I'd take Spotify seriously, and I'd want everybody else to. That might be selfish or vain of me, but it's the truth.
Exactly. I agree.
What you been listening to?
What have I been listening to?
What we been listening to? What you been listening to? I've been listening to a lot of Coleman Payne Exercise out now. Y'all should check it out.
Check that out.
Joe's album, I liked it.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
I'm a fan.
I've been listening to that Malcolm Todd album I was telling you about. I've been listening to that. It's pretty good. I would say probably like a third of the songs I think I've saved. Other than that, not really a whole lot. I have actually been listening to your song a little bit.
Hey man, I appreciate that.
Yeah. I also really not much else.
Yeah, I haven't been listening to a lot of music. There was a new Hey Nothing song called Waiting Room, which is good. Y'all should check that out.
I've been listening to podcasts honestly more often.
I've been listening to a good amount of podcasts too.
I'm listening to the George Janko show.
Really?
Yeah.
It was the John Bellion.
Yeah. It started with John Bellion. Yeah. Started with John Bellion, and then I listened to part of the Jake Paul one, and then I didn't finish that one because I didn't give a shit. And then I listened to the Steve-O one. Steve-O one was really interesting.
I didn't watch that.
And then I started listening to Modern Wisdom with Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike.
I love him so much.
I love him so much, dude. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been more in the podcast vibe lately.
You on steroids?
To be honest. Oh, 100 fucking %.
That's not natty.
Is he on steroids? He's like sitting there like this.
5'4". Just...
He looks pretty natty. Yeah, I think he said he's like 5'6", like 235 pounds.
Yeah.
Which is absurd.
He's open about it. It's also funny thinking of like, because he's an actual scientist, thinking of scientists getting on steroids.
Yeah.
And being like, yep, guys, this isn't good for you, but I'd enjoy being jacked out of my mind.
Yeah. Well, he did professional bodybuilding for a while, I know. Yeah. And so, he's definitely open also about the fact that, like, this will kill you, for sure. They're going to kill you. And, like, Chris Williamson was like, so, like, how exactly do the steroids, like, take years off your life? And he was like, how don't they take years off your life? He was like, yeah, it like makes your heart pump in a way where it like, weakens it, fills your body with a bunch of cholesterol, basically just everything bad, pretty much. Everything you don't want to happen. Yeah, I've been seeing this is kind of unrelated, but there's so many people that are like hating on the little like ideas of like healthy living, like don't touch receipts and like all these other things, like don't use a plastic toothbrush and all that kind of stuff. And everybody in the comments is like, oh, this is just blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bro, what company fucking paid you to like hate on these people? There was this one girl who I followed recently. I think her account name is like Live Primals or something. Like the whole like primal. I think that's probably the best way to describe the like style of living is like the primal being where you just live like supernatural and like whole foods and all that kind of stuff, which that's kind of honestly the best way to be. But one big thing in that community is drinking raw milk. And I mean, I don't really have an opinion either way. I think like if drinking raw milk was that bad for you, we would probably hear like a lot more stories of people like getting sick from drinking raw milk. And there's a reason that like a lot of states are allowing raw milk to be sold again. Like for a long time they didn't because of like the bacteria or whatever. But she was basically just saying like raw milk is a lot better for you because it has like, like you're drinking dead milk essentially when you're drinking normal milk that's been like homogenized and pasteurized, whatever. And so, yeah, I don't really have opinion one way or the other. I think milk is just, like kind of nasty anyways. But like all the people in the comments are like, oh, you mean ultra processed by like being heated up to kill the bacteria? And it's like, dude, what these companies are in your head, man. It's so absurd.
It's just big milk buying a bunch of bots.
It probably is, honestly.
All right, let's get into the questions, guys, because as y'all know, we answer your questions. I wonder if there's any slodgers who skip through all of the updates and all of the topics we talk about and just get to the questions.
Yeah, if you do that, fuck you.
With our next podcast has like 20 views.
Yeah.
Because everybody does that.
Yeah.
Let's kick this off with Jax. Jax says, if possible, who would you want to go on tour with?
Taylor Swift. Probably Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Because I love her music.
Oh, yeah. I love her music.
We talk about her music a lot on this podcast. I think she deserves to be, one of the biggest artists in the world.
Mm-hmm. I will say, definitely her over like Sabrina Carpenter or Chappell Roan or whatever. Like I prefer always Taylor Swift. Not that I really like her music or any of their music, but her over anybody else.
I'm somewhat kidding. She puts in a lot of work. I'm not kidding about me not liking her music, but I think she does put in a lot of work to, she's been doing this for a while. So, but
her team does for sure.
But for some reason, I think you're joking when you say Taylor Swift.
No.
Oh, really? You want to be her guitarist?
I'd be down.
Okay.
I mean, going on to tour with Taylor Swift.
Bank, dude.
That's what I was gonna say.
We wouldn't have to talk about finances ever again.
I'd be chilling.
You'd be chilling.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'll go and just fucking do the lights or something.
You might have to dance on stage a little bit.
I'll twerk a little bit for Taylor Swift.
I think you would. I'll throw back a bit for the Swifties.
I'll make that shit clap a little bit. Probably not Taylor Swift, preferably. I mean, I wouldn't mind if she's probably watching this. So if you're watching this, Taylor, we're on a first name basis. I'll definitely be down. This is the
last podcast she is listening to, man.
Yeah, she's fucking probably watching the Emma Chamberlain podcast.
Although I'm sure she agreed with our Spotify take.
Yeah, probably get these
as one of the biggest.
Get these fucking plebs off my platform. Yeah. Yeah, I would honestly agree with that if I was in her position too. But yeah, let's see. Who would I want to go on tour with? Mac DeMarco would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I feel like our answer is the same for all this shit.
Yeah.
It's like Mac DeMarco, Far Caspian, like all the people that we just listen to all the time. I think touring would be fun though.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
That's something that
with each other. That's my answer.
Yeah.
I want to go on tour with Coleman.
Should we cut so we can kiss? Yeah, no, I'd want to go on tour with you too, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Park Rangers
tour. This is me writing. You just gave me the note. You put it on my desk. It says, "Do you want to go out? Yes or no?"
Yeah.
I just said yes.
A little box.
And I'm sending it back to you.
Yeah.
I get it back with you.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. No, touring would be fun, man. I mean, we're definitely gonna be doing that at some point.
Yeah.
Just a matter of when. I mean, we just last episode we talked about the new Park Rangers work we're putting in, documenting, writing all these songs, and becoming the #1 band in the world.
Yeah.
And we just started your video yesterday, practicing the songs, which was just so much fun.
That was fun.
And it helped me realize, hey, we've got some good music.
100%.
On Park Rangers. Because I was thinking earlier too, like if I were to go on tour, would I rather go on tour with like Zola and Fizo with all the songs we made on there? Because we made a good amount of songs on that, or like the Still Coleman stuff. Because we don't have a lot of songs on Park Rangers right now. But now I'm like, dude, if I could go on tour with anything that I've ever done, it would be Park Rangers.
Totally, yeah.
Because we have like so many good songs, and they're songs that are so full and produced in a way where it's live sounding that they would those are the best performing songs that I've ever made that would perform in a live setting.
Totally.
So what we need to do first is get a drummer and a bassist.
Yeah. I think also thinking about trying to perform a song like Share the Stars would I don't know how we would do that. Like, it would just be you on stage with the microphone like a rapper.
Just the microphone.
Yeah.
Get together and we'll find out why.
Just dancing with the microphone. Yeah, I just kind of like sit there and like I sit on the speaker and kind of
you have a little plastic guitar that you act like you're playing.
Yeah. So I don't really know how we do a song like that, but definitely like you're saying, with all the park ranger stuff, I think it's made in a way where it's very conducive to a band playing it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, once we get like some touring musicians to go with us and do shows with us, that'd be sick. We got to get on that. But honestly, I feel like we got to get the music out first.
Yeah, I think dropping an album would really kick that off.
Yeah.
And I think we have enough songs to make an album. It's just about really shaping it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I'm excited for y'all to. I'm excited for the Slodges to hear some more Park Rangers tunes because we got some bangers coming out. But yeah, touring is just. I feel like touring is very romanticized, which we need to understand. Like, there's going to be some parts that suck, especially for you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it, dude.
Yeah, we're not going on a fucking tour bus. We're going on like a putting shit in the back of our cars.
Exactly, and we're not gonna be able to eat our dog food every day.
Yeah,
that has our protein and our carbs, and working out's gonna be a lot more difficult because where are we gonna work out? We don't have the gym in our garage anymore.
Yeah, so
there's gonna be a lot of things that it's easy to romanticize anything in life.
Sure,
but touring, I feel like especially so because you just see hanging out with the bandmates before the show in the green room, doing the show, and it's super exciting. Everybody's clapping, and then going out to the bars afterwards, and the whole thing is just like a movie. And it really, every tour documentary that I've ever seen gets me so excited to do tours. Yeah. But there are definitely moments where, let's say, like one of us gets sick.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, I did not want to do this show tonight. Yeah. Or we do a show and it goes poorly. Yeah. And we think to ourselves, is this the end? Yeah. Are we never going to be able to do this again? That was awful. People were just staring at us.
Yeah. There's going to be so many ups and downs. And I think that's honestly going to be one of the hardest things is with performing and touring and all that kind of stuff being a thing that we've never really dabbled in, and like it wasn't really like a thing that we've ever had our sights set on. Like it's never been a thing where we've always wanted to be in a band or we've always wanted to like be on stage performing in front of people. Like I've always thought it would be cool, but it was never like my main goal.
I agree.
With YouTube, it's been so easy to continue, and with just making music, it's been so easy to continue because it's something I've always wanted to do. Whereas with, doing touring and doing performing, it's going to be a lot harder to stay consistent because it's not like a natural, desire and passion of ours, Yeah. So I think that'll be definitely one thing we'll have to navigate is being able to keep that up, because it's just like anything. Like when you start out new at something, before you've really built up the love for it and before you've really built up like a good amount of skill for it, it's hard to keep going. Like there's been a lot of times for me where like I'm like, dude, I suck at this. Like I don't want to fucking do this anymore. Yeah. So that'll be an interesting thing, and there'll be a lot of interesting things, and it'll be cool to document the moments like that in the Park Rangers videos as we keep doing them and as we actually get shows and stuff. So it'll be fun.
It'll be exciting. This is gonna be fun. If y'all are watching this right now and y'all continue to be a Slodger for let's say a year, and maybe in a year we're touring and you'll be able to be like, man, I remember when they dropped that episode, just dreaming about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, good question, Jax. I'm sorry. The answer is just go back to any other episode where we talk about favorite artists or people we want to collaborate with. It's the same, man. Like I would love to do Gregory Allen.
Yeah, that'd
be a like keyboardist, because his band is so cool, dude. He's got the violinist, he's got the upright bass, and they're all like, they got the folky gear on. It's just a really cool experience. So being someone there,
they also have a lot of fun playing together. It looks like.
Yeah, the encore is so fun too when they get together and they're just standing up there together. It's awesome. They got the little, what is that? Accordion thing.
Yeah,
sick, man. That's sick, man.
There's a lot of people. I just want to tour in general, so I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. Next question is from Cheesus. How much sound could a sound lodge if a sound lodge could slodge sound?
Probably about like 5 or 6.
I was in that ballpark too.
Yeah. That's my like rough like back of the napkin calculation on that.
Good question, Cheesus. Ratty says 1 million YouTube subscribers or 1 million Spotify monthly listeners.
$1 million. That's what I choose.
Would you rather have $1 million or double it for the next person? You know what?
Get out here.
Double it.
Fucking mind if you think I'm doubling that shit. That actually is. That's a good amendment to this guy's question. Would you rather have 1 million YouTube subscribers, 1 million Spotify followers, or not followers, Spotify monthly, or $1 million?
think $1 million.
I think I might take $1 million.
I think I'm taking $1 million, dude. Immediately putting 500 in like some kind of Roth IRA type deal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. That's hard because 1 million subscribers, if we're saying, like, you know, you don't get them overnight, but like it means that you
authentically
are in an alternate universe where you've been doing it for 10 years and you've slowly gained 1 million.
Yeah.
That might be the better answer because that's like, I've got a sustainable business.
There's longevity with it.
There's a lot more longevity. And especially if it's what I'm doing, I think I would actually take that because it would mean that I get to continue making the videos I'm making. But I have 1 million people who like those videos. That'd be sick. I'm taking that. $1 million would be fun, but I could probably make that in 10 years if I have 1 million subscribers.
Yeah. I think I'd probably go with the 1 million and just keep doing what I'm doing on YouTube now. And I think
that's also another good point.
If I'm able to do that, I think I'd eventually get to where I want to be on YouTube anyways. And I think
about it.
It would be nice.
Do you think you'd ever get 1 million? Do you think you're going to get 1 million subscribers in your lifetime?
I don't know. That's the goal.
That's a good question too.
That is a good question.
If you had to put money on it, heads or tails, yes or no? Do you think you'd get you're going to have 1 million subscribers in your lifetime?
Let's see. I think I want to say yes because it's the kind of thing where like if I say no, that's like kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah. Do you even believe in yourself?
Yeah. So I think yeah, I have the potential to get 1 million subscribers for sure, but I also think that it's not outside of the realm of possibility for me to eventually kind of move on to other things that I'm passionate about and not really, I don't want to say like quit YouTube, but like not be grinding hard on YouTube to the point where like I would be doing everything that I need to do in order to get to 1 million subscribers. I think it's not outside the realm of possibility to get to 1 million. Also, as just more people, like there's always more people that are like coming onto the earth and like using, you know, social media platforms and everything. And there's always more people, more eyes that are going to see your stuff. So yeah, it's a tough question, but I think yes, but there might come a time when I want to focus on other shit instead. That's what I would say. What about you?
That's a good answer. I think, not that I don't believe myself, but no. I don't think so, dude. I'm dropping a video every 3 months.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding in the sense that I don't believe it'll happen. I'm gonna drop more videos and I will do this, guys. Please believe me.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Trust me.
The funny thing is I spend basically not the whole day, but I spend at least half the day working on YouTube or editing videos or planning, and I still only drop a video every month, which is crazy. Yeah. I'm doing something wrong. But the answer is no. I don't think because I don't see myself making content like Andrew Huang or Rob Scallon. But at the same time, dude, like if these park rangers documentaries take off, like if that kind of content does numbers, and I could see like my kind of content doing numbers too, just being authentic on the app and making like filmic videos. So I don't know, man. I think it's, like you said, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but my answer would be no. Like I feel like I'd hard cap at like 700K for like doing YouTube for a lifetime, or like 500K. 1 million would be nice, but I agree. I think, you know, in 20 years, I don't know if I want to, I'm going to always make YouTube videos, but I don't know if I ever want to take it as seriously and like really grind because I'm grinding on YouTube right now.
Actually, the thing that I think about now is I'm going to go with a hard yes, because I think if there's anything that I would transition more into as time goes on, it would be taking the artistry, like music thing, more seriously. And if I start taking the music thing more seriously, I would probably have people to help me with the YouTube thing. And so I think about, also, this is a good thing to what you were saying earlier about like people making kind of like indie videos where you're kind of like documenting you doing something. If you look at the Lizzie McAlpine documentary for her album, that video has like 250,000 views. True. And I think it has like 200,000, upwards of 200,000 views. So if you're doing videos like that, like every time you drop an album and the album's doing well and the videos are doing well and you're able to like be like a big artist where you have a bunch of followers and stuff like that, like I think your YouTube channel, if you take the YouTube channel even like a little bit seriously as a big artist, could get a lot of traction. Like I think her YouTube channel is probably near 1 million subscribers, if not more than 1 million subscribers. And Lizzie McAlpine is like not a huge artist. She's a big artist for sure, but like she's not like, you know, mainstream artist, I don't really think.
Good point.
And so I think definitely there's potential. I think even if you shift your focus, you could still attack YouTube in a different kind of way to where it could be successful, you know? And also even just make like a separate channel entirely, you know, like maybe like your Coleman Payne channel, if you start taking like the artist thing like super duper seriously and that's all you focus on, like that could just be a big channel in of itself because Coleman Payne is like a artist, you know?
Yeah, or park rangers.
Exactly, yeah. So I think I definitely don't rule it out for that specific reason. And that's the goal, you know? Like, I mean, if I'm never, like we said, I'm never going to stop doing YouTube. So, like,
that's always been the number one goal.
If I hit 1 million when I'm fucking 60 years old, so be it, you know?
That's true. Hey, man, that's true. I just think I'm going trajectory-wise. You can go on that website. What is it called?
Social Blade?
Yeah, Social Blade. And you can see the numbers. And it's always very discouraging.
Yeah, don't do that
shit.
shit.
Don't do that. Don't ever do that, guys. It's like in 5 years, you will gain 2,000 subscribers. You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, it's a bad play.
It's a bad play. But trajectory-wise, just because I've been a little confused on the YouTube front for the past 2 years with what I'm making.
It's like the Tim Robinson sketch. Like you load up your YouTube page, you're like, I don't know what any of this shit is. Yeah, no, I feel you. I think the thing is though, like you said, you're not going to stop making YouTube videos. So eventually,
and that's always been the number one goal is 1 million subscribers. So
exactly, you're eventually going to figure out like kind of what works and get into more. Of a
you know
groove,
what?
You know?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
We will be millionaires.
Well, with all of our combined channels that we'll have eventually, they'll equal 1 million subscribers at some point or another. What combined now we have, what are you at, 50, 60K?
58. Dude, I have no clue. I think that's bad.
Yeah.
I should probably know that.
Should probably check that, yeah. Anyways, that's approximately 60K.
Dude, the amount of dead subscribers
70K.
I have is pretty unbelievable.
I guess that's true. But as far as a number goes.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I drop
pure
a video
number-wise.
and it gets hard caps at a K, 1,000 views, and I have like 60,000 subscribers.
Yeah, plateaus at 1K.
A lot of those people died somehow.
Yeah, they died in real life. Hey, 130,000. We're already combined over 1/10 of the way there to 1 million. So it's cool.
We're gonna do another 200K countdown. We're gonna shave our mustaches in our head this time.
Yeah, we both have family and children and a house and fucking we're old.
With each other.
Yeah.
Ratty, so Ratty, we did change your question a bit, which we apologize. 1 million YouTube, 1 million Spotify, or $1 million. I'm going with the 1 million subscribers. Longevity, are you still, you're still confident with your $1 million?
Yeah, but if I'm answering his question, YouTube subscribers.
Really? So you're switching?
Well, if I'm just answering his question, which is non-amended, I'm going with YouTube subscribers. Spotify, well, and also to explain further, the reason for the not choosing Spotify in any of these scenarios is because monthly listeners is not a consistent thing. It will drop off. Like
it's not followers. It's just people that came across your song in one playlist.
Exactly. So, and it's just, I don't even think it's from playlists either. Like it's just one person clicks on your song. That's one monthly listener for the month. And so that can be, you know, maybe your song goes viral and blows up, one song of yours, and you have, you know, 8 million monthly for that month, and then the next month nobody gives a shit about it anymore, and you're back to like 1,000 monthly. So it's very inconsistent, and also it doesn't necessarily mean that like those people that are monthly listeners are going to come back and listen to your music. That's what like Spotify followers is for. Those are the people that were like are going to have a higher chance of coming back to your music and seeing your music again pop up on their Discover Weekly and their all this other shit, Release Radar and whatever. So yeah, I would definitely not choose Spotify in that scenario because also Spotify sucks, as we mentioned earlier. So yeah.
The YouTube subscribers go along. Because a lot of those are going to be listeners because we're going to be making music content.
Exactly. And you get a little plaque too.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready to get that 100K plaque.
I'm hyped for that. That's going to be so cool.
Hype, dude. I'm going to show everybody I know that.
I've been waiting on that, and that's been like my goal for so long. Like probably since I was like 13, 14 years old. That will be sick.
Yep.
10 years of waiting on that bad boy. soon.
When do you think you're gonna hit it?
A couple years for sure.
Yeah. It's gonna take some years. You're close, dude. You're close.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if I'm getting like maybe sometimes it's, you know, if I have a good month, it's like maybe 2,000 subscribers in a month.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would that be? Yeah, maybe like 2 years then.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's also kind of usually exponential.
What does Social Blade say?
Yeah, pull up the Social Blade.
It says 17 years.
You'll have negative 16,000 subscribers. What? That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm gonna predict year and a half. That's what I'm gonna say.
Year and a half.
Year and a half. That if I don't have
around December 2027.
I don't even know. Probably something like that.
2026. December 2026.
Yeah, December. No, that would be. I don't know.
Around October.
I think. A year from now is April 2026.
Mm-hmm. Plus a half year.
Yeah, so it would be around December 2026. I think by January of 2027, that's my goal. 100,000 by January of 2027. And if I don't hit that, come back to this video, tag me, and tell me to die.
Wow. Götze says, do either of you have tattoos, any dream tattoos you want to get?
Nope. I don't have any tattoos. Yeah, I have a couple tattoos. A few. I have, what was that? 5. I got 5. They're all visible. All of my tattoos are visible for all to see at all times. Men I trust, butterfly, 3 flowers, 1 flower, plant. That's what I got. And I have a lot of other tattoos that I want to get, but I don't have money. So...
Yes.
I want to put an owl right here. I want to put there's a really cool barn owl design I want to put on this arm. There's a little moon that I want to get. I want to get a little cat tattoo for my cat that is deceased. And yeah, a few other ideas that I've got cooking. But yeah, I eventually want to get like just a bunch of tattoos. But I will do that when I have money to do that. So not right now.
I got 2 tats. I got one right here, a little trumpet, and then I got a puzzle piece on the back.
Heck yeah.
Should you tell them about the journey of getting these?
Holy shit, man.
Because you got these 3.
Actually, June has a Friday the 13th, June this year.
We're going.
We have to.
We're going.
We missed another one. There was another Friday the 13th last year. I think there was 2. I think it was probably one in like, because when did we go? September?
Uh-huh.
No, it might have even been in like February or March. There might have been a Friday the 13th.
Really?
Yeah, one of the months this year maybe had a Friday the 13th. We missed it, but
we know to get there earlier.
The gist of the story of when we got these, I got these 2 flower these 3 tattoos at the same time that you got yours, and the gist of the story is that we went when there was a Friday the 13th sale, and they were having $13 and $31 tattoos. And which, I mean, if you know anything about tattoos, you know that's a really good deal.
And if you know anything about us, you know
we
that
like deals.
We like deals.
We like to not have to pay for shit. Very expensive. So, yeah, we were like, this is a perfect opportunity. Let's do it. I'm sure there won't be like that. There's probably going to be a bunch of people, but like probably not that many people. So we're like, we'll get there a little bit early. Like, might as well. So I think we got there probably like, 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
Because even you said like, oh, maybe should we get there like super early? Like, and I was like, we probably don't need to. Like, I think we'll probably be fine. We get there, the thing opens at maybe like 11 or 10 or whatever. I think we got there like 15, 20 minutes beforehand. The line is out the fucking door, around the block, like absolutely absurd long line. And we're just waiting for like, I think we waited for like 2-3 hours just in that line.
In the heat.
Yeah, in the boiling heat in the middle of the summer in Oklahoma. And we get to like up near the front of the line and they're like, all right, we're going to only start calling people off of this list. So we put our names down on the list, put our name and number, and they're like, we're going to call you when it's your turn, and we're going to go through this list and call you. And we're like, okay, cool.
It was just a lady. She walked around the line and said, starting from here, and it was like towards the front of the building. Yeah. Starting from here on, y'all can all leave, pass this sheet around and put your name on, and we'll call you because the line is taking too long. Yeah, so we're like, okay, cool. That sounds good. And so we put our names down on the list, put our numbers down, and then we left. We went home, had lunch, hung out for a little bit. No call still. We're like, okay,
like we don't really expect it, but probably they'll be calling us soon because we hung out for maybe like 2-3 hours at home. Like we hung out for a while, and then we come back, and the line is significantly shorter. Like it's still pretty long, but it's significantly shorter. And we're like, okay, this is cool. So we get back in line and just kind of wait. And we're like, if they're gonna call us from the list, they'll call us eventually, and then we wait in line for like another hour and a half, and we get to like around the building now. We're like in front of the building, right? We can see the door, and apparently everybody kind of like stops being in the line, and we're just like fucking huddled around because they're not really taking people from the line. They said they were calling people off the list. So we're in front of the store, and somehow it gets out into like the crowd of people that like they're calling off people off the list right now. So we've been waiting in the fucking line for 3 hours, and they're like, now we're gonna start using the list. And so we waited in that line for basically no reason at all. Yeah. And they were apparently just accepting people that were walking in and like waiting in line. So we should have just stayed there and just waited in line for another maybe like 30 minutes or an hour, and we would have gotten it, 6 hours earlier. So we ended up legitimately waiting until probably like 8:30 or like 9 o'clock at night to get our tattoos. And then we were in there. Once we got in there, it was like heaven. It was like we had just walked into like this oasis, and like there was air conditioning in there, and it's like they got all this like sparkly shit everywhere, and it like smells nice, and we're like, oh, this is incredible. Yeah, we're here, finally here, after like torturing ourselves all day in the sun. And so we got in there, we got our tattoos. Our tattoo artist was super cool. And shout out to Amanda. And then we got out of there, and then we were like, we're never doing that again until the next Friday the 13th, and then we're gonna do it again.
We're gonna do it again, but we got a better game plan.
We do. We're gonna approach it better this time, so hopefully it'll work. So cool vibes, cool experience.
Cool vibes. I got a lot of tattoo ideas. I don't have like a huge dream that I want to. There hasn't been like something that I've always wanted to get. And the tattoos that I got aren't even sentimental. I just liked them. They just looked cool. Yeah. Same. And so I have some ideas. Like I love hummingbirds. Those are my favorite birds. So there's this hummingbird design I want to get. Yeah. And then I also like this little tree design. But I've got like a bunch of images on my phone that I think they look cool.
It's kind of how I am too.
I'll probably get one that's sentimental at some point. But for now, I'm just getting stuff that looks cool.
Yeah. Same.
But I'm the same way with you. I'm not able to be dropping $200 right now. Yeah. But if it's another $13,
I can drop there. That. That's fine with me. That's a thing of ground beef for me.
I'll give that up.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think also, even when I do have the money for it, that's like not the thing that I want to spend my extra money on. True. Like I'm usually like, I'm probably just gonna save this money, or like I'm gonna spend it on.
It's not a rational purchase.
No, it's not. So it really only makes sense if you have like expendable income that you really don't want to spend on anything else.
That's why a lot of people, once they get famous, they immediately get so many tattoos because they've always wanted to get tattoos, but they never had the money to get them.
Exactly, which is kind of smart. That's why like a lot of NBA players do the same thing. Yeah. It's just sports, like professional sports players of any kind, they just do that.
Post Malone puts it all over his face.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Get a bunch of face tattoos.
Guys, don't blow up park rangers.
We're going to get so many tattoos. I'm going to get face tattoos fucking everywhere. I was actually thinking about getting a tattoo gun the other day. I was like, that would be kind of sick to get a tattoo.
That'd be sick, dude.
I could also, low-key, I could learn how to actually get good at tattooing and start tattooing people and like get paid for it.
I think we're going to wrap this one up. Guys, Slodges.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching, Slodgers. Thanks for slodging it.
Thanks for slodging it up, guys.
What should they stay tuned for? Also, could y'all, if you're still watching this, you're probably subscribed, so I'm not even gonna ask you to. Yeah. But we need to start asking people to subscribe.
Yeah,
because that'll help us.
Yeah, and probably as we're saying subscribe right now, the subscribe button on YouTube is lighting up.
How it does that?
It's so cool.
Subscribe,
like the video, and subscribe the video.
Subscribe
to us. Subscribe.
We're making their computer
blinking.
lag.
Yeah, we're fucking up the YouTube servers. Yeah, guys. Stay tuned for more podcasts or whatever.
Something like that. Don't ask me.
More podcasts, cooking videos. Park Rangers content and songs, maybe, and just fun little vibes. Stay tuned for the fun little vibes, guys.
Stay tuned for them.
And if you watch this far into the video, first of all, thanks for doing that.
Thanks for doing that.
And you're a real one. Leave a comment that says quotation marks, "I'm so ready for all the fun little vibes," and then leave a heart emoji. green heart emoji for Slodge plants and shit.
And then after the emojis say, Coleman's also looking really nice this episode.
Yeah. End quote.
Yep. No, there's no quotes in that.
Oh, I said quote at the beginning.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't want it to be like, in quotations, Coleman's looking so nice, because then when people read it, they'd think, oh.
Somebody else is saying
Yeah, somebody else is.
Yeah. No, the whole thing is in quotes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's all one thing.
Because I want to show my girlfriend, and then she sees the comments, and then she thinks I'm a high value man.
Yeah. She'll get jealous. She's like, what the hell? This is my boyfriend.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
I screenshot all good comments.
Yeah.
And I show them to friends and family. And
I make him my background on my phone so I can always look at
Oh, what the heck? What the heck? All these people said I'm freaking hot?
Yeah, what the heck?
Is anybody looking at my phone right now?
Actually, every time I get a comment like that, I do show it to Kathy.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're not even joking?
No, I'm not joking.
That's funny.
She thinks it's funny as hell. She was like, I got one the other day. There were so many comments on one of my shorts, and they commented like 3 times. They're like, "Why is this guy so hot?" And Kathy took my phone, and she was like, "Yourself."
That's hilarious. But so you do it jokingly?
Yeah, I show her because I think it's funny, and she asked me to see him too.
It's hilarious. You don't, because I don't do it jokingly.
I'm like, look how amazing everyone thinks I am.
I try to prove to her every time.
Prove my worth.
Yeah. I'm an extremely insecure guy.
Yeah. No, I'm always like, I'm being fucking harassed by like another dude on the internet.
All right, see y'all next episode, guys.
See you guys in the next one. Next time.
Don't stop to keep it slodgin'.
Don't stop believing.
Slodgin' on that slodger. Slodgin' everywhere.
Slodgin' everywhere.